covering all of the DMV. This is DC News Now.
All right, good afternoon. Thank you for joining us for the news at noon. I'm Shanika Grimshaw. Another cloudy and cool day to start our Tuesday. Meteorologist Damon Matson is joining us with a check on how it's going to be. Now, Damon, there was another this morning, it was really gray and just yucky.
Shanika, you'd be shocked to hear this, but I was this close to grabbing a jacket this morning.
Whoa.
It felt a little chilly.
Yeah.
I mean, we're not used to this during this time of year, but it is certainly what we are locked into, as this satellite loop is pretty familiar to us. If you were tuning in yesterday, this is exactly how it looks. So we are stuck in that same exact cloudy pattern across the entire DMV. Sunshine is on the edge of our map, but just up and over the mountains on the far western edge of the DMV. As you head into West Virginia, western Pennsylvania, that's where you'll find the sun, but it is not going to be around in the DMV today. Now, despite that, rainfall yet again very sparse, if we're seeing any at all. Most of any steady showers are along the eastern shore. We've had some pockets of drizzle making things damp for some of us out there, even in and around the DC metro area, but that is the extent of any sort of rainfall we'll see today. So areas of patchy drizzle will continue to be possible as it stays extremely gray and it stays very cool. Temperatures later this afternoon will struggle to get out of the lower and middle 70s. So indeed, folks, it is going to be another fall-like day in the DMV, but it is going to start to change on us here as we head on toward Wednesday. What major changes should we expect as we head into the second half of the week? We'll have a full look at your forecast coming up here in just a bit.
All right, sounds good, Damon. Thank you. It's now 12:02. With one full week of the federal takeover of D.C. police in the books, the police union is touting crime numbers that show many crimes were down this past week. DC News Now's Max Marcilla shares what those numbers say.
Well, here in the district, crime was lower this past week compared to the week before, but whether that was the result of the increase in federal agents or just part of what we've seen at times throughout the summer, that still remains to be seen. We analyzed DC police crime data since the start of the summer. You can see crime did go down this past week, but it's been going down for 3 consecutive weeks, and it's still higher than it was in other weeks, especially during a dip toward late June and early July. Last week's 1,010 crimes, just about at the summer weekly average of 966. Meanwhile, the federal presence is still being felt across the district. Last night on Benning Road, there was a traffic checkpoint with DC police and federal agents. Yesterday, DC Mayor Muriel Bowser raised her concerns with the federal government's plan, wondering whether the crackdown is more about immigration or violent crime.
The focus should be on violent crime, and that's what has been promoted, that we're focusing on violent criminals and violent offenders and violence. And nobody is against focusing on driving down any level of violence. And so if this is really about immigration enforcement, I think the administration should make that plain.
The other part of the crackdown on violent crime in the district is the National Guard, and we have learned that 2 additional Republican-led states, Louisiana and Mississippi, say they will send their National Guard members to D.C. Also, the D.C. National Guard confirming with us that their members will be stationed not just along the National Mall or Union Station, but also at 10 metro stations, including some in downtown D.C. Reporting on the National Mall, Max Marcilla, DC News Now.
And right now, a different feel heading into summer restaurant week in the DMV. Some data showing restaurant reservations are down in the district and in recent days. Data from restaurant reservation service OpenTable shows the number of people reserving tables in the district this past week has dropped between 16 and 31% compared to this same time last year. The previous week's stats, the same or higher than that of last year. And that drop in reservations comes on the heels of a lot of big changes in D.C., with some on social media trying to link the drop to the recent Trump executive order. And people in the industry tell us August is typically a slow month for restaurants, and several factors may be at play.
We do see a drop in reservations in August, which is why we host Restaurant Week in the middle of August. So there are a number of variables. Now, there's this added layer here over the past week with the Trump effect. And, we can't be oblivious and not recognize it.
And Summer Restaurant Week goes through Sunday the 24th with more than 300 restaurants across the DMV participating. And meantime, some DC bars say they're struggling with business amidst the takeover. Several owners say they lost thousands of dollars because fewer people have been showing up. And the owner of Pitcher's Bar near 18th Street tells us, though there hasn't been much of a police presence there, the federal takeover is still creating issues for business.
It's so dead. Like Friday was miserable. Doing this for 30 years, I know about the August slump, and then I know what this is doing to my business. So it's not the August slump. It's definitely what they're doing to our city.
And bar owners say they understand the fear from customers, but want to reiterate these are safe spaces and encourage people to support local small businesses. And more arrests by federal law enforcement. U.S. Attorney General Pam Bondi posted on X, 52 people were arrested last night, including an MS-13 gang member. Bondi says since the takeover, nearly half of the total arrests were in high crime areas of the district. And you can see our full continuing coverage of the federal takeover of DC police on our website. You'll also be able to see the many reactions to the president's actions and what families can expect, and a breakdown of violent crime statistics. Just go to dcnewsnow.com and click on the DC Takeover tab. And happening now, a barricade situation is underway in the district. Police responded to the parking lot of the Panda Gourmet restaurant along New York Avenue in Northeast for a person in crisis. Now, they say a woman barricaded herself inside of a car there, and there are extended closures in that area, including Bladensburg Road. We'll continue to update this story as we learn more. And a Maryland man is accused of killing his mother, who's been missing for more than a week. Investigators found Victoria Shea's body off Route 124 in Durwood Friday. They arrested her son, Daniel Shea, the next day. Police say he killed his 81-year-old mother, and his roommate helped him dispose of her body. And Shea is facing first-degree murder charges and is due in court tomorrow for a bond hearing. And his roommate, Dwayne Embry, is charged with being an accessory after the fact. There's a hearing today, and we'll have more coming up right here at 4. And the U.S. Marshals Service asking for the public's help in locating a man wanted for rape. And that happened back in September of 2024. 19-year-old Abdul Jabril Cooper was a student at the time and is being charged with raping a student in his campus apartment. Investigators at Penn State offered Cooper the opportunity to surrender himself, but Cooper has declined. Cooper is 5'9" and weighs about 160 pounds. And since being wanted for rape charges, Cooper has since disenrolled from the university. If you know anything about this, call the tip line. That's 1-866-865-TIPS. That's 8477. And a D.C. man is facing a murder charge for allegedly shooting and killing someone in Southeast. Police say they arrested Tariq Settles Thursday. The shooting happened in April on Knox Place. Police say they found Darwan McCroy shot. He died there. No word on Settles' court date just yet. And in Virginia, a 15-year-old boy is charged with making violent threats against his school on Snapchat. Prince William County Police say an image was posted on the app last week making threats to Osborne Park High School in Manassas. The boy was arrested over the weekend. He's being held at a juvenile detention center, and officials say there's no active threat to the school. And in Maryland, authorities are investigating what caused a cargo ship in Baltimore's harbor to explode on Monday evening. News Nation's Tom Dempsey has the story.
This explosion happened not too far from where I'm standing in Baltimore Harbor along the Patapsco River, and today the Coast Guard is trying to find a lot more answers as to what exactly happened with this explosion. A video provided to News Nation actually showed heavy smoke going up into the air after this occurred. According to the Baltimore City Fire Department, this all happened Monday evening when some sort of an explosion happened on what investigators described as a bulk carrier boat. We know air and water emergency crews responded, including fire boats. The investigators say 23 people were aboard the boat at the time, but no injuries to report. Obviously, the location of all this very notable because the details of this story bringing flashbacks to that tragic bridge collapse that happened literally right here. You can see the portion of the Francis Scott Key Bridge still missing to this day after the tragedy that occurred in March of last year when a cargo ship collided with the Key Bridge, leading to its sudden collapse, killing 6 construction workers filling potholes at the time. This led to the port here being closed for months, disrupting not only car traffic, but boat traffic as well. The NTSB issued a preliminary report describing how the cargo ship experienced electrical blackouts 10 hours before leaving port, as well as shortly before the whole incident occurred. Now the rebuilding project has started here at the bridge, though, and construction crews expected to be finished by 2028. In Baltimore, I'm Tom Dempsey, News Nation.
And the Washington Commanders losing another preseason game. They faced off against the Cincinnati Bengals last night. Quarterback Jaden Daniels got to play a little bit. He rushed for a 14-yard touchdown in the first half of the game. And rookie running back Ja'Cory Krosky Merritt also helping put points on the board. However, it was not enough to beat the Bengals. The final score, 31-17.
These penalties, they cost us. We had a 4th down penalty, and those were the ones I thought, man, that's our winning time. We've got to nail those. But we have much to clean up to get to the standards that we want to play at.
Their final preseason game is Saturday against the Baltimore Ravens. Kickoff is at noon.